Oh, I'm live. How you doing? Where's my music? Holy cow. Hold on a second. Something's missing. There it is. Oh, good morning, everybody. How are you? I imagine I'm live. And if I'm not, well, if I'm not live, you wouldn't be able to tell me, would you? So we'll just assume the best. We'll assume the best. I'm going to go check over on my other deal here. And yes, I see that the stream has actually started. So good morning, everybody. Welcome. Welcome. Welcome to Morning Coffee with Mitch. And as usual, drink it if you got it. And I got brave today, and backed by popular demand is one of my favorite coffee cups. My daughter bought me this cup. I don't find anything offensive about it. Okay, enough music, enough celebration. Good to see you all. You may notice this morning. Well, you don't notice yet. Well, let me tell you that I'm alone. I'm so alone. I'm here by myself this morning. But the show must go on. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Ellen's in the chat, and I mean chatting up a storm, but she needed to just take a morning. I don't know. I think maybe she just wanted to sit around in her pajamas or something, and I don't blame her. So there's nothing wrong, but Ellen's not going to be sitting and keeping me in line today. I've kind of gotten used to that. In fact, I kind of really enjoy it, and I think everybody, or most everybody, really enjoys it too, because the viewer count on these live streams is terrific. And what's even more telling is how many people are still hanging around when we're done. And although I'd love to take all the credit for that, I I have to share it. I have to share it. I think it's been working great, and it certainly makes it easier for me having somebody kind of remind me when there's questions. And like yesterday afternoon, for example, I rewatched the live stream yesterday. I had answered 4 really good questions, and I may have missed them otherwise. So, good morning to you, Ellen, wherever you are. And it's been crazy. We have this little pre-show thing that develops in the morning. For those of you who don't come in the middle of the night just to chat with your friends, it's crazy. And this morning, before I went live, there were 20 or 30 people waiting for this to start chatting away. And I think that's going to have to make me modify a little bit what I've been doing, saying good morning to people, because there is so much of that chat that happened before the show starts that if I go way back to the beginning and start saying hi to people, I end up spending 10 or 15 minutes before I even get to the time when I started the show. So I know everybody. I know that everybody who was here early is still going to be here when I start the show. That I'm going to go to the spot in the chat where pretty much the show just started, and that's where I'm going to start saying hello to people. And I think maybe I can get more people acknowledged. and I talked about that yesterday, I really like to acknowledge people that come in here, and I think you all enjoy seeing your name up there on the screen because I know how much I enjoy it when I go into somebody else's live stream. So I think we'll give that a try. But that's not the most important thing that I have to announce this morning. And if I had a sound effects machine out here, I would play a snare drum roll to drum up some suspense. I drag it out. I drag it out because that's show business. I'd come right up to the point where I was going to tell you, and then I'd go off somewhere else, and you'd go, oh, tell us already. And when you couldn't wait any longer to hear, then I'd tell you the news that I have to tell you this morning. But I'm not that mean. I'm not that mean, so I will just come right out and tell you that yesterday evening, sometime around 7:30 p.m., I gave birth to a beautiful 6 millimeter kidney stone. Yes, I passed the goddamn thing. Finally. It was strange. It was strange. I'm telling you. That's the first one of any magnitude that I've ever passed. The one I had 9 years ago, they had to go in and get. I never saw the thing. I never saw what it looked like. This one, I just have to show. I hope this comes out. And on our live stream tonight, and by the way, Ellen's going to be there on my live stream today. Thank God for that. Ellen, don't leave me, Ellen. Oh, I don't know what I do anymore. I got used to having somebody helping me out. It was great. It was great. Oh. Okay. Let me see if I can find this. Hang on one second. Where is it? Screenshots. Yes. And I don't know if you're going to be able to see this. I'm going to hold it up. Now, let me tell you this story. Let me tell you this story. I know this may be too much information for a lot of you, but it can really be helpful because I know many, many people who go through this, not knowing what to expect because they don't tell you anything in the medical community. They don't tell you what to expect. They see you, they diagnose you in the emergency room, they hand you a bunch of prescriptions, they tell you to see a doctor that doesn't have time to see you, and that's the last you ever hear of it, and you're on your own, and we've talked about that. So, and again, I hope this isn't too much information, but it is medical of a sort and probably helpful. A couple hours before I passed the stone, I went to the bathroom and my urine came out a very dark brown color. And I had an incredibly strong urge before that particular episode. And when I saw that, it scared me. I knew that a kidney stone can irritate things and blood can get mixed up with your urine, but when you see dark brown liquid coming out of you, it scares you. But then I said to myself, no, I think I just passed the stone. But the water in the bowl was so dark I couldn't see down to the bottom of the bowl, and I certainly wasn't going to stick my hand in there and go fishing around it. For some reason at that moment it wasn't all that important to me to find the thing. Good riddance, basically. So I started Googling things, and I Googled, what does it mean when your urine is brown? Or does your urine get brown when you pass the kidneys? And basically I found out that what had happened to me was normal. I said, okay, I feel a little better now. And I said, well, let me just start drinking tons of liquid and really flush this out and see what happens and see if it gets darker or lighter. If I've got a problem, do I need to go to the emergency room? Am I bleeding internally? Who knows what it could be? So for the next hour or so, I was just drinking and drinking and drinking, and my urine cleared up, and it was drinking and drinking. And I said, okay, that was it. I called my kids. Hey, I think I passed the kidney stone. Finally, we're done with this. And I'm drinking more water and pissing and drinking. And again, you don't know if you're doing the right thing. You think you are, but you just don't know. They don't tell you. And I had to go to the bathroom again. So I went in there, went to the bathroom. And I felt something, not pain, but I could feel it going through. And I said, what the hell was that? And I looked down because the water in the bowl was pretty clear at that point. I looked down in the bowl and I see this little black pebble looking thing sitting at the bottom of the toilet bowl. I said, holy shit, there's the friggin' stone. Look at that. So I went and got a tweezers. I went and got a long tweezers, and there it is. I reached down and grabbed it and brought it out, and I think you can see it there. And you can see the size of it relative to the actual weave on the paper towel. And I'll be damned if the thing wasn't actually a 6mm stone. I took a vernier caliper and I measured it, and it was exactly the size they said it was. And it was black. Now, the last kidney stone that they had to get, I never saw it. I had no idea. I thought they were white. So right away, I get the phone and I'm Googling again. Googling like crazy. What color are kidney stones? Well, I couldn't find it. And finally, I found some website. And basically they said, a calcium oxalate stone, after you pass it, which I guess is the key, will either be dark brown or black. I said, yes, that's it. That's the little bugger. Unbelievable. And then I started cursing at it. And I won't even repeat what I said. The pain you've caused me, you tiny little pebble. It's incredible. It's incredible. But I'm a happy guy until the next one. So I still got the appointment with the urologist. And I'm saying to myself, because I did a whole thing the other day, and actually, as suggested, I actually cut that piece out, how to deal with a new doctor, and I made a video on the suggestion of, I think it was Mama Bear. And yes, that video is going to be out close to 3 o'clock this afternoon, where it's an excerpt, not a real long one, about my attitude and how I deal with any potential new doctor who's a complete unknown to me. Well, I still have this guy, and I still got an appointment with him. I don't need him now anymore for this episode, but if you can get some good doctors on your side, not doctors that want to tell you how to do everything, but doctors that want to be your health partners, that respect your intelligence, that want to make you understand. If you can find those, man, they are gold. They are gold. I respect them. If I could have Ken Berry or Anthony Chafee as my personal physician, I would do it in a minute. I would travel hours to see these people because there certainly aren't many of them near where we live. So I figured, you know what, I'm gonna take this opportunity to see who this guy is, because it wouldn't hurt, basically, to have a urologist, as the saying goes, in my back pocket should I need him, because I got I can tell you, I know that before I'm done, I'm going to need certain doctors to help me with certain problems. I'm not going to never get sick again before I die, which I hope is going to be a long time from now. So I'm going to go see him on Thursday, but I'm not going to take any records with me. I'm not going to fill out any forms. I'm not going to become his patient yet. I'm going to walk in and we'll see what happens, and I'll tell you, because it's going to be interesting. I wish I could film it, but I think that would make the people in there a little self-conscious if I was holding up a camera and saying, "Hi, I'm Mitch from YouTube, and you're going to be a star." I'm just going to basically say, look, past the kidney stone, I have no problem right now, but it wouldn't hurt to, I'd like to meet the doctor. I'd like to ask him a few questions to see if he's somebody I might consider hiring in the future. I'll pay for the visit. I'll pay him for his time. I don't expect him to work for nothing. Here's my deductible, and see if it's all right with him to just sit and talk. And a funny thought hit my mind. I said, yeah, there's times when some men go into a house of ill repute and tell the young lady, look, is it okay if we just talk? Sometimes you just want to talk. And I want to talk, and I want to let him know a little bit about me and find out if he thinks I'm a lunatic and killing myself, or if maybe, with all the noise that's been made lately, this guy might be somewhat enlightened. And if so, and I think he's a decent human being, and I think he's friendly, and I don't think he's arrogant or superior or egotistical, I'll become his patient. Whether I'll ever use him again or not, I don't know, but it's never hurt. So that's what I'm going to do. Anyway, that's the saga of the kidney stone. That's the saga, the end of the story. And that story's been going on since last Tuesday. It's been a week. And the good news, my friend, the good news is that I passed it about as quick as you can pass one of those things. In my reading, and I have been reading a lot about kidney stones in the past week, believe me. Anywhere from 1 to 4 weeks is normal to pass it. You just never see anybody where it says, I passed it in 5 minutes. It's got a long journey. When you stop to think that ureter, that little tube from your kidney to your bladder, on average is about 10 inches long. And this boulder's trying to move through it. 1 to 4 weeks. And then it also said that in a lot of cases, you can still have discomfort if it scrapes along and does a lot of irritating along the way. It can take weeks to even recover from that. But I think I was lucky. Maybe the Flomax did work. I hate that stuff. I hate the side effects, but maybe it did work. Maybe it did relax that ureter just enough to let it go. At any rate, let me see let me look at the chat here, and let me find a chat that happened around 8:30 and start saying hi to some of you. Now, I don't have a way to pick out the questions, so I'm just going to have to scroll through the chat and keep scrolling until I find some questions. But I will answer them if I see them. And if I don't see them, the trooper that she is, Ellen, is going to be making notes of them. Ellen's going to be with me tonight on my Tuesday night live stream. Thank you. And we'll get to them. I love answering questions. If I can. I love giving you my, and maybe it's arrogant to use the word insight, but my opinion of what I think, whether it agrees with yours or whether it's right or wrong. It's conclusions that I've come to, which are always, believe it or not, always open to change. I'm not married. Maybe that's why I I can kind of move with new information and new things that we discover, because I am not locked into anything I believe. Everything I believe is subject to change at a minute's notice if compelling evidence comes along and shows me that I'm wrong. I have nothing vested in my beliefs, and y'all know what that means. My reputation. I don't have a reputation. My income. I don't have that either. My legacy. I don't have a legacy as far as I know right now, other than a whole bunch of YouTube videos of a crazy old bald-headed guy ranting his head off. I have nothing vested. I have nothing to lose if I change my mind. If I, on the other hand, was a vegan YouTuber, doctor who spent his life professing a vegan diet, and my entire legacy, my entire reputation, like Michael Greger, my entire persona, who I am, is all wrapped around being a vegan. Even if I found some new information that showed that I was wrong all my life, I would continue to pump out the crap that I knew was wrong, because my life and everything about my life and my ego and my pride and everything else depended on it. I'm not in that situation. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. If I'm proven wrong, I'll say, you know what? Sorry, guys, listen, the stuff I told you yesterday, I found out this is new. I think that maybe this adds a little something or changes my mind. And with this new information, this is where I'm thinking now. And I think that's the only way that you should go through life. But unfortunately, humans are arrogant and egotistical animals, and we don't have the, we simply don't have the ability, most of us, to do that. We can't just say, I'm wrong. Ken Berry is one of those guys who did that a number of years ago. Had the guts to come out and say, to his patients, to everybody else, all that crap I've been telling you all those years. Never mind. Here's what you need to be doing. I was wrong. And he still to this day, and I admire him as a human being and as a gentleman, he still to this day apologizes to all of those patients whose lives he didn't help when that was what he was supposed to be doing. That's the way we all need to be. Politicians are the same way. Make a mistake, say, hey, listen, I thought this would work. It didn't work. Let's do it the other guy's way. No, they can't do that. They can't do that. It's a shame. And somebody bought me a coffee. Wow. Satya Khalsa bought me a coffee this morning. Says in the thing, celebrate. You know it. Let's do just that. Let's have a little coffee. Why do I always catch just the end of the music? Start again. There it is. And while we're celebrating, I can't think of a better way. So excuse me while I relight my cigar. You can't, honest to God, you can't sit still to this music. Even me, an old man, I can't sit still to this music. I love it. All right, I haven't said hi to anybody but Satya yet. So let me do this. Let me start right here, because there's just tons of chat. First name I see, Boyd Lamb. How you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Good deal, no more pain, he said. Rain Dancers here. How you doing? Good to see you. Sorry, I started yesterday, he says. Now, I don't know what some of these messages mean, because you're going to be chatting away with each other while I'm saying hello. So I'm just going to say hello Good morning. Good morning. Lori, Carnivore Story. Carney Lori. Good to see you. Sandy Blythe is here. How you doing? Yay, Mitch. Oh, this is about the time I told you my kidney stone passed, so I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of that. Turamir is here. How you doing? Trucking Carnivore. Good morning, my friend. Felix. Felix is here. And Ellen is a trooper. She's chatting up a storm. Thank you, Ellen. I miss you. I miss you up there. But you can take a day off anytime you want. I mean, I told you that. Listen, I do this 7 days a week. I don't expect anybody. I do it because I want to. I love it. I have a good time. Why wouldn't I do it? And if I stop having a good time or need a day off, I'll skip a day. But I love it. I can't expect anybody else to love it as much as I do. So, Ellen, it won't hurt my feelings if you need a day off, even if you need a day off from the chat, if you just got stuff to do. I'll muddle through it, but I'm here. I'm here. And so grateful. So grateful. You guys have no idea how hard she works helping me out. Sometimes I'm almost embarrassed. I want to tell her, take some time off, will you? Stop worrying about me. You don't find too many friends in life like that. You know, enough said. Viking 442, Thomas here from Tampa. Good to see you. Standing foot. How you doing? I was going to mention peeing through a strainer. Well, I've been peeing so much for the past week. I had thought about that, but I just said, nah, the hell with that. Who cares about the kidney stone? Now I got this stone. I don't know what to do with it. I'm thinking I'm not going to turn it. I know what it is. I don't need to have it analyzed. It's calcium oxalate. What else would it be? You're talking to the ex-spinach king of the world here, you know. I wish there was somebody I could sue, but, you know, what are you going to do? I'm thinking about, my son had a suggestion. He said, get it encased in a little clear Lexan, a little clear plastic, put it on a chain, wear it around your neck. And I had mixed thoughts about that. I said, do I really want to be reminded of that thing every day? But in case you can't tell, I slept like a baby last night. I am so relieved. And it was only a week. And compared to what most people go through in this life, most of the pain and suffering and doctor's visits and drug reactions and feeling bad, and especially people my age, even people 15, 20 years younger than me are suffering and sick. What I went through last week was nothing. I had a few brief periods of excruciating pain, but that was pretty much it. I was medicated most of the time. I wasn't in pain. It was uncertainty is what is and the tension of not knowing when it was going to go, what was going to happen, what was I going to feel. That's worse than the actual thing itself. And I got to tell you, if I got to pass another one, I absolutely know now. I know how to recognize. I know how to recognize what it is. I know exactly what to do. I took very few of the pain pills they gave me. So listen, I got enough left over. So if I start getting kidney stone pain again, I know exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to go take one of each of those pain pills like I did the last time. And I'm going to casually drive myself over to the emergency room with no big deal and get a CT scan and find out what I'm dealing with and how big it is. It's comforting to know what to expect. That's all I can say. Marcia's here, Chessie's Adventures. How you doing? How you doing? Good to see you this morning. And Cindy Braddock. It's black. Yes. Yes, it was black. And I confirmed that that is the normal color of a calcium oxalate stone. If it's red or brown, it was probably a uric acid stone. But if it's brown or black, dark brown or black, and let me get the let me get the picture of this up again, and you can see the color of it. Oh, while I got my phone, Papa Carnivore just bought me a coffee. So glad to hear that your little 6 millimeter hitchhiker buddy has left your vehicle. Thank you, Peter. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And appreciate that. And let me find that. Let me find that again. Let me find that screenshot again and show it to you. That is black. It's not brown. It's black. Let me make it bigger. Oh, yeah, that really shows it. Look at that thing. Look at that. That looks like the Rock of Gibraltar. That's magnified very many times. And these cell phones have great high-res cameras, and then you can blow them up afterwards. But that's what it looked like. Might have had a slight brownish tinge to it, but very, very, very dark. It fit the description exactly, and I was shocked. I guess it's when you think calcium, because it's calcium oxalate, right? When you think calcium, what do you think of? You think of milk. White. You think white. So I was surprised. But I made sure that I understood everything about this little episode now that it's over. I made sure of that so that there's no little nagging worries left. We don't like nagging worries. At any rate, yeah, it was black. It was black. I don't see any questions yet. CB is here from Alabama, and if I miss saying hi to anybody that came in earlier, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Hopefully we'll catch you before I get done. I got a half hour left, so we got plenty of time to do this, and the rest of this half hour is basically going to be me interacting with you, looking at the chat, and trying to find some questions that I might answer and go off on an explanation or two. Anyway, CB, good to see you. Always good to see you guys. Terry, I don't know if I said hi to some of these people. Name it Sharon. My son named it. My daughter named it Fred. I said we need to name this thing. She said name it Fred. I said okay, I'll name it Fred. So that's Fred the kidney stone. And I took it. You know how you ever go to a jeweler, you see how they take a piece of paper when they got a stone, a diamond, and they put it in there and they fold it a certain way so that they can't lose it. Well, I kind of did that with a paper towel last night. I folded the thing up in a paper towel because you can lose something like that. It's just like a tiny little pebble. And then I took an envelope and I put it in the envelope. And then I wrote on the front of the envelope, kidney stone, October 28th. 2024. It's birthday. My kidney stone had a birthday. What do you think of that? And if nothing else, those of you that have been following me along this thing, hopefully have a head start in knowing what to expect if you should ever get one of these things. And after saying that, I hope the hell you don't. I hope you don't. Lat is here. Hi, Lat. How you doing? Tiny Tyrant, now expelled. Yes. Yes. And it's great. It's great to have everybody celebrate with me here. It's great. It's great. And if that's the biggest health problem I ever have, man, I'm the luckiest guy on the planet. Here, Papa Carnivore with a question. How many more kidney stones are left to pass in your estimation? I would imagine 4 or 5 of them, maybe 3 or 4, maybe more. I mean, maybe the time I thought I'd passed a stone because I felt a sharp pain and then a burning urination a while later. They were smaller stones. I'm sure I had some smaller stones and maybe they passed, but I had some large ones. I had one stone that at the biggest that it showed up was 11 millimeters. That's close to a half inch. Close to a half an inch. You know, you'd say, well, an 11 millimeter stone is not even twice the size of a 6 millimeter stone, but it doesn't work that way. You you increase the diameter, the actual volume of the thing goes up exponentially. So the mass of the thing goes up enormously with every increase in 1 millimeter of the diameter. And 6 millimeters seems to be the cutoff point at which they give you a 50-50 shot of passing it. Above that, it's 90-10. So the good news is a stone that big generally doesn't move around. There have been kidney stones as big as golf balls. You don't pass those. You just have to. They have to be broken up. And that's one of that's if this doctor does agree to just a Q&A session with me, and if he doesn't, he can F off. I mean, that's my attitude about these guys. Who the hell do they think they are? As far as I'm concerned, I look at these people. If I pay somebody for some service, I am their employer. I don't care if it's a plumber, somebody mowing the lawn, or a doctor. They're working for me. I make the rules and the decisions, not them. Any doctor that fires a patient because they refuse to take a prescription that he prescribes shouldn't be practicing medicine. We still, to this day, we still have the final say of what happens to us regarding our health. We may not make the right decision every time, but that decision is ours to make. So that, Peter, that's what I think. Hey, Josephine C., how you doing? Good to see you this morning. Did I say hi to the Furl Grandma yet? You've been around for quite a while, early too. I dropped an S-bomb earlier too. Mild swearing is still swearing. Oh, listen, you know how they always say, pardon my French? I always say, don't worry. I speak fluent French. I don't think there's any such thing as a dirty word. There's only dirty minds. Sometimes you use words. What's the difference? Have you ever watched Battlestar Galactica? This is what kills me. Have you ever? People are so superficial when it comes to stuff like that. Have you ever watched Battlestar Galactica? They substituted the word fracking for the F-bomb. And every other word in that series is, he's out of his fracking mind. And we use the word frigging. He's out of his frigging mind. I use that all the time. Why don't we just say what we mean? What's the difference? What's the difference? That word doesn't mean anything more or less than the context in which it's said. There have been many great comedy routines based on that. And it took us 30 or 40 years just to integrate the word shit into our language. And people say it all the time and they say it everywhere. And when they say shit, they're not thinking about feces. It's a descriptive. But we're taught, especially those of us who are older, that swearing is offensive. Well, I gave that up long ago. I think the army rid me of any of that. And I think anybody that's been in the military, pretty much learns how to talk. And sometimes when you're trying to make a point, there's no other way to express yourself so that you're being perfectly clear. So you can say anything you want, Feral Grandma, and we won't think any less. We might even think more of you. William McCartney, how you doing? Good to see you. And Jim Alvear is here. That went through you. I just checked everywhere. Good to see you, Jim. Good to see you. And I'm looking for a name I haven't said hi to yet, and I'm looking for questions. And I'm only up to 8:47, and that's a half hour ago. So I got a lot of chat to go through here, and I'm going to keep reading them. Yeah, Tom says 0.00 chance of an enlightened doctor. LOL. Some might call Tom a cynic. I call Tom a realist. I agree with you, Tom. I agree with you. Mark Booz is here. I know you were here earlier, but I haven't seen one of your chats yet. Good to see you, Mark. Good to see you. How are you, man? I'm still got a smile on my face from last Friday. We had such a great time, man. Again, let me remind you that next Tuesday night, I'm not going to have a live stream. I'm going to be on with Curry. It'll be streamed on my channel, but it won't be my live stream. So keep an eye out for that. And Curry and I are going to have a ball. And I don't know how political we're going to get, but on election night, I'm afraid it's going to be hard to stay away from it, especially if we're reacting or interacting with any of the comments, because all you people are going to be watching election returns about that time. Or all the talking heads predicting everything because they're so smart. Michael Seeley Sr.'s here. How you doing? Good morning, Michael. Congratulations on passing the stone. That would be a great movie title. I mean, they have Romancing the Stone. Passing the Stone. I don't know what kind of box office that might attract. But we are freewheeling this morning, and you people seem to be hanging in there with me, so we'll just keep doing what we're doing. Got about 15 or 20 minutes left here. And I'll just keep going down the chat. I don't know if you guys are chatting faster than I can catch up with you, but we'll do this. Susan Courtney, hey, how you doing, Susan? Good to see you. Mama Bear, did I say hi to you yet this morning? I don't know if I did or not, but good morning to you. And I think it was you who suggested that I take a clip out of that live stream and make a video, and I did. And today it's going to come out, and I think the title of it is how I deal with the new doctor. I'm paraphrasing, something like that. And on the thumbnail, there's a picture of a very distinguished-looking, stern-faced doctor with a white coat and stethoscope. You'll see it. It'll come up. Randy K. Randy, how the hell are you, man? Good to see you. Probably out on the road somewhere. Good to see you. And Steve Studley. Go Dodgers. That's right. We have. I don't follow sports. Somebody told me that the World Series is happening. Amazing. Does it make me un-American if I just don't care? I just don't follow it or know anything about professional sports. James Martin, the music reminds me of Cuba. Yes, sir, it is. It is Cuban. It is Cuban music. It is titled Habana Savannah, or Havana Sabana. That's what it is. It is Cuban. I love, I love Latin music. I love the rhythms. I actually play Latin percussion. I play piano, guitar, and I play Latin percussion. I've got bongos all over my house here. And I've actually played with some bands over the course of my life. Something about Latin rhythms get right into me, resonate with me incredibly. I love it. I love all the old Latito Fuente. I love all the old Latin bands, Cuban music. I love it. Maybe that's why I love cigars so much. Maybe somewhere in my ancestry, there's a little Cuban hanging around or something. Excuse me a second, if you would. I'll let you listen. That's it. It's the coffee, because I like Cuban coffee, even though it's very strong. Cigars, and Latin music. I love it. But I digress. Where was I, James? Thank you, James. It is, I think it is Cuban. Yes, it is Cuban music. And here's another person I haven't said hi to. How do you pronounce? Is it? Oh wow! My new glasses should be here any day now, and maybe I can stop this nonsense. Maciel Ordonez. Good morning, Mitch. From Dan Lee. Okay, I don't know why that doesn't. SDA carnivore again, survivor, and getting vegan survivor. We ought to make a plaque. I survived being a vegan. What a t-shirt that would make. I'm a carnivore. I survived veganism. God. And you saw the video I put out yesterday. I thought that was kind of cute, but it made a real point. It just showed how far off course we are as a society and how we're not really even starting to correct the way back to the proper road. Because we just, and from every direction, we just get bombarded with this healthy fruits and vegetables nonsense. And they come up with more and more excuses. And that's because there's so much money riding on it. So many people's livelihoods are riding on the fact that people consume mass quantities of this crap. It's cheap. It's poisonous. They don't care. They don't care. Anything but red meat. Well, welcome, Maciel. I think I pronounced it correctly, and if not, I'm sorry. I do the best I can. Hey, look at this. Another person, Novadia Van. Good morning, Mitch. Good morning to you, Novadia. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. We got 122 people here. If Ellen was here, I'd have 142 people. The price I pay. I know I'm quiet, but I'm looking. Boyd Lamb's got a question. Okay, Boyd. Question. I'm going to do Dr. Sean O'Mara's 30-day thing beginning first. Is that November? It looks like MOV, but I think you meant November, or else my glasses are really ready to be changed. It includes small amounts of ferment. Have you researched ferments on Carney? Any thoughts? I do. I have a lot of thoughts. And even about that. I haven't researched, Boyd, I haven't researched ferments. I never have enjoyed fermented foods. I mean, what, after all, what is fermenting when you stop to think about it? Whoa. Eddie Edwards bought me a coffee. Eddie Edwards says, to celebrate the passing of your stone-faced friend. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, my friend. Very, very nice of you. Very nice of you. Really appreciate that. Fermenting is the act of a bacteria eating something and basically pooping out something else. And different bacteria eat different things and poop out different substances. And they call that fermenting. And it's a process that happens everywhere. It happens when you make yogurt. It happens when you make beer. It happens in the guts of cows. And we do it to certain foods. In a way, I think of it as kind of a way to pre-digest something. For me, I've never eaten fermented food. I never liked it. I never liked sauerkraut, sour cream, yogurt, none of that stuff. I've never felt the need to eat fermented foods. There may be some health benefits of them, but I think in order to determine if, and I may be completely off base here because I don't know much about fermented foods, but I think that the logic of it to me goes like this. Once a food is fermented, it isn't important what it started as. What's important is what have the bacteria turned it into. In the gut of a cow, a bacteria takes plants and sugars, and the strains of bacteria that ferment them turn them into free fatty acids. So you have to say to yourself, if I ferment vegetables, maybe I'm turning them into something more like the fat that I find if I just ate fat, animal fat, because that's where it comes from. That's why a cow has fat. Eats sugar, eats plants, eats fiber, especially fiber, and it gets fermented, and it's not fiber anymore if bacteria get done with it. So I would look at the end result of whatever. And Sean O'Mare is a smart guy, and listen, he's in great shape, and he knows a lot. But like most of them, I don't agree with everything he says, and I'm sure he doesn't agree with everything I say. If he even knows who I am, which I doubt. I have no idea what his 30-day plan is. It can't hurt you, but what it is, you're not going to be fermenting any animal products. I know that for a fact. I don't think, why would you ferment something that's already what the result of fermentation produces? So I would assume that if you're going to follow that program, you're going to be fermenting plants. And unfortunately, I will probably not see a reply from this or find it if I'm wrong about that. But if I'm talking hypothetically now, if I'm right about that, just eat the animals. Why go through all the garbage of taking plants and trying to turn them into what we already have when we're eating animals, when we can just eat the animals? Because along with all that stuff, when you're fermenting it, you are going to still get so many toxins and anti-nutrients and things that are left over that we don't need. Unless you just love the taste of that stuff and can't live without it. Now that's another story. If you really miss your fermented stuff, do it. You're not going to hurt yourself doing it, but you are starting to eat plants. You are going to get carbs. You are not really I don't want to say you're not a carnivore. You've just lowered the percentage of meat in your diet. I think I told you this before. I've seen that the scientific definition of a carnivore is an animal that gets more than 70% or more of his nutrients from animal food, animal products. I don't care about the definitions. For me, and I'm sure Sean Baker and I'm sure Anthony Chafee, and I always pick those two guys because those two guys epitomize the what I do. What I do. Sean Baker drinks coffee. I mean, not Sean Baker and Chafee don't drink coffee. Ken Berry drinks coffee, but Ken Berry also eats stuff that Nisha makes that is not in my wheelhouse, which makes him, I think, unless he doesn't eat anything that she makes, any of these keto dishes, not ketovore. And again, the difference is so small. 10 grams of carbs to 20 grams of carbs. I don't need that stuff for me. I would no more think of going on a 30-day fermented plan. I have no idea what that plan is, so I can't poo-poo it. It may be the greatest plan on the planet Earth, and you're a smart guy. I know that. I've known you for quite a while now, and I know that you're no dummy. And it's possible that you have something that you think that might help. And if that's so, shit, give it a try. Why not? Why not? You're not going to hurt yourself. You're not going to hurt yourself by doing it. So I think that's the best I can answer that, not being familiar with it. I wouldn't do it, but that doesn't mean there's anything wrong with it. I'll give you the old Seinfeld. Not that there's anything wrong with that. And I think Sean is a smart guy. I think he's a smart guy. And obviously he's doing something right. I don't think he's as old as we are, however. Mama Bear has a question. Anyway, thanks for the question. Mitch, how about making one of your classic videos on the benefits of eating leafy greens with your rock in the thumbnail? Oh. Yeah. Oh, Mama Bear, you have your sense of humor goes right along with, and sarcasm goes right along with mine. And I can only tell you this. If you think you've seen the last of that kidney stone picture, you don't know me very well. You know how people like to show off pictures of their kids? Well, you ain't seen nothing yet. Nothing says pain like a picture of a kidney stone and where it came from. So yes, that's going to become an example, and I'm going to use that example many, many times in the future. Well, geez, look what time it is. It's, holy cow, it's almost 9:30. Time flies when we're having fun. B-Matt, hey, how you doing? I didn't say hi to you. You should donate it to a carnivore exhibit at the Smithsonian. Oh man, you guys are great. I think I've got a group of the smartest people on the planet Earth right here. And there's 126 of you that are still here with me an hour into this madness. It's just great. It's great. I know I missed saying, Mark Whistler, how you doing? I know I missed saying hi to so many people. Excuse me one second. I needed a little cough up my lung break. Occasionally I take a sip of coffee and I don't drink enough of a gulp and it just wants to go down, wants me to breathe it, not swallow it. So, Where was I? I was going to say I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom of this chat if I can find it. Oh, I missed this. I'm sorry, Randy. Randy gave me a super chat. Good morning, Mitch. And fans, get ready to hit the road. Have limited roam data. Going to miss the live show. Damn. Oh, I'm sorry, Randy, but thank you so much for the super chat, my friend. Always appreciate it. And if I missed one of them, I would feel really bad. So I am going to scroll all the way down the chat now. And it just keeps going. It just keeps going. And all the names keep going. DS111, haven't said hi to you yet today. Good to see you. And I know I miss so many people. CJ Brockney, good to see you. Oh, he likes the old band videos. Yeah, the old Cuban bands. Wow, look at all the people that were here. Booby Goats was here. Meatitudes was here. Good to see you. I know I missed a lot of people. I know I missed a lot of people today. Let's see. Free Texanetta's here. How you doing? I hadn't said hi to you. Let me flash your name up on the screen so you don't feel left out. And we are down to almost 5-6 minutes ago, so we're getting down there. And I want to see. I don't think anybody new is coming in right now. So Rick is here. Hiya, Rick. Polish Mike, how you doing? Good to see you. Always good to see the same people. Craig Smith. My God, Craig Smith is here. Good morning. Right at the end, my friend. But that's okay. We'll get you out of bed earlier tomorrow. Good to see you, Craig. Craig's been around with me since day one. And I'm at the end. Yes, okay. So down here at the end of the chat, I see Rick, Charger, Mopar. I see Mike Sealy, United Carnivore. Papa Carnivore's still talking. Terry's still talking. So say goodbye to each other. I'll give you a minute or two to keep the chat open. I will play my music. I'll relight my cigar. Let you guys chat away a little bit. Time to gotta remove the bands from these things once they get small. Now, this was not a brand new cigar this morning. This was left over from yesterday. That's one thing about a cigar. It's just 2 hours here. Everybody's saying goodbye. I had a good time this morning. Great news. I feel just great. And on that note, the music ended. Great cue for me to go away. So, with all that being said, my friends, thank you so much. Thanks for coming. Thanks for all the well wishes over the past week. Over this little adventure that I had. It means a lot to me. And I will see all of you. Ellen and I will see all of you tonight at 8 o'clock p.m. for my Old Guy Carnivore Tuesday evening live stream. And we'll pick up where we left off. If you got questions, think about them now. That initially was the intention of having a live stream, was to interact with people and try one-on-one to clarify some things, or even for me to find areas that maybe I should do a little more research in and learn a little bit more about. But with all that being said, I'm going to sit out here. I've got nothing pressing to do. I'm going to probably watch the replay maybe have another cup of coffee, finish my cigar, and just relax. And take most of the rest of the day off because I got to go back to work again tonight at 8 o'clock. But you, you lucky guys, you can. And I insist that you take the rest of the day off and eat meat.